What are the types of fund performance data one should consider while selecting a mutual fund? Primarily, there are three types of data that is recommended to follow. The first is called trailing returns, second is rolling returns, and the third is calendar returns. I'll explain each of the three types of returns once, their pros and cons, so that you get a holistic view of how to assess the performance of a mutual fund. Trailing returns is simply a point-to-point returns. Whenever someone provides return data of a fund, it shows you parameters such as 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year data. This is basically the fund's performance keeping the current date as one point and going back to each of the durations, and it shows you the fund performance data from that perspective. This shows point-to-point returns of the fund, keeping the current date as one point and going back to each of the parameters as the other. This type of return has a slight setback, which is called a recency bias, that if recently the markets or funds have performed well, the whole face of the returns changes altogether. Therefore, we have to take in a little bit more information to get a holistic view. The second type of returns we can assess are calendar year returns. Calendar year returns are very simple from its description, that from Jan to December, what were the returns delivered by the fund. In this manner, we can see in a calendar year over 2 to 3 to 5 years, how consistent the performance of the fund has been. Now coming to the third and in fact the most important parameter for assessing performance of a mutual fund is actually rolling returns. Rolling returns as a concept is slightly more complex, and what it entails is two parameters. One is a complete period within which we are taking the data, which I'll give you an example, and the second thing is the holding period of the investment. These two elements work together to give you a better picture. An example to make things a little more clear are, for example, if we picked a large cap fund and let's say we were trying to see if its 3-year holding data is good or not. Here we will consider two things. One is the holding period, for example, if we take it as 3 years, and if we're looking at the duration in which the fund performance is being assessed, we can take even a 10-year time frame. So what this means is, in a whole time frame of 10 years, if you held the fund for any 3-year period, what would the average returns be, what was the maximum and minimum, and from this we can understand if the fund has performed well throughout this tenure or not. Now taking a combination of all three data points explained together and in tandem would give you a holistic picture as to whether the fund has performed well or not. For any such mutual fund related queries or assistance, please contact us at Meri Punji.